feeding our baby some juice. Let's see what she's got.
Take this holotape. You need it to contact Patriot. Make up a cover story and sell it.
Come on, I think I got it. Establishing lock on the Institute signal.
Just get all the information you can. About Synth. About the Institute's plans. Find their weaknesses. If we can disable or destroy the Institute, we may have to do it. You jack that holotape into any terminal, and Patriot will make contact. He has to.
Got the RF. We got it.
Find a way to save them. Nobody else can.
Now!
Hello.
Hello. I wondered if you might make it here. You're quite resourceful. I'm known as Father. The Institute is under my guidance. I know why you're here. I'd like to discuss things with you face to face. Please, step into the elevator.
Hey there, welcome, how are ye?
Think of us. I'd like to show you that you may have the wrong impression. This is the reality of the Institute. This place, these people, the work we do. For over 100 years, we've dedicated ourselves to humanity's survival. Decades of research, countless experiments and trials, a shared vision of how science can help shape the future. It has never been easy, and our actions are often misinterpreted by those above ground. Someday, perhaps, we can show them what we've accomplished. But for now, we must remain underground. There's too much at stake here to risk it all. As you've seen, things above are unstable. I'd like to talk to you about what we can do for everyone. But that can wait. You are here for a specific, very personal reason. You are here for your son.
I am great. How has your day been? It's been good, thank you. Spend it with my family.
Sean?
Huh? Yes, I'm Sean.
Sean. Oh my god. It's really you.
Who are you?
Sean, where is everyone?
Father, what's going on? What's happening?
Sean, are you okay? You're not hurt, are you?
What's going on? Father? Father!
What do you want me to do, Sean? What can I do?
I don't know you. Go away. Father! Father, help me! There's someone here. Help me!
Who is Father? Where is he?
Father? Father, help me! He's trying to take me! Father? Father, help me!
Sean. S923, recall code Cirrus. Fascinating, but disappointing. The child's responses were not at all what I anticipated. He's a prototype, you understand. We're only just now beginning to explore the effects of extreme emotional stimuli. Please try and keep an open mind. I recognize that you are emotional, and that your journey here has been fraught with challenges. Let's start anew. I am Father. Welcome to the Institute.
Father? That's your name? Your title?
Father is my unofficial title. It's what I've come to mean to the people of the Institute, just as you mean to your son, to Sean.
Just help me understand what's going on here.
I promised answers, and answers you shall have. But I need you to realize that this situation is far more complicated than you could have imagined. You have traveled very far, and suffered a great deal to find your son. Well, your tenacity and dedication have been rewarded. It's good to finally meet you. After all this time, it's me. I am Sean. I am your son.
It's really you. After all this time.
Yes. It's true. In the vault, you had no concept of the passage of time. You were released from your pod and went searching for the son you'd lost. But then you learned that your son was no longer an infant, but a 10-year-old boy. You believed that 10 years had passed. Is it really so hard to accept that it was not 10, but 60 years? That is the reality. And here I am, raised by the Institute, and now its leader.
But why? Why take a child? Why take you?
Ah, now that's the question, isn't it? Why me? At that time, the year 2227, the Institute had made great strides in synth production. But it was never enough. Scientific curiosity and the goal of perfection drove them ever onward. What they wanted was the perfect machine. So they followed the best example thus far. The human being. Walking, talking, fully articulate, capable of anything.
So the weird science experiments needed specimens. That's why they took you.
In a manner of speaking, yes. The Institute endeavored to create synthetic organics. The most logical starting point, of course, was human DNA. Plenty of that was available, of course. But it had all become corrupted in this wasteland. Radiation affected everyone, even in their attempts to shield themselves from the world above. Members of the Institute had been exposed. Another source was necessary. But then the Institute found me, after discovering records from Vault 111. An infant, frozen in time, protected from the radiation-induced mutations that had crept into every other human cell in the Commonwealth. I was exactly what they needed. And so it was my DNA that became the basis of the synthetic organics used to create every human-like synth you see today. I am their father. Through science, we are family. The synths, me, and you.
Sean. It's really you.
It really is. I know you must have questions. Please. Anything I can do to help you understand.
Your mother. She never got to see you grow up?
Yes. What happened to her was... I've gone over the records of the incident, of course. It seems her death was an unfortunate bit of collateral damage.
Collateral damage? Is that all she was to you?
I forget that it's been such a short time for you. I don't have any direct
That
memories.
is nice. Emoji smiling
And I've
eyes.
had my
Hopefully
entire
you
life
don't
to
have
cope
to get
with
up
the
too
loss.
early tomorrow.
Has it always been easy? Of course not. But I've done my best to move on, and that was that. With old age comes regret. And asking what if more often. But what matters now is that you and I have a chance to begin again. What else can I say
start work at
to
10
ease your
am.
mind?
So it's not that bad.
Kellogg. He worked for you?
Kellogg. He was an Institute asset long before I arrived here. It wasn't until I became director that I learned of all the things he'd done. What kind of man he was.
You knew the man was a psychopath, but you used him anyway?
Would you have preferred that I turned him loose on the Commonwealth? At least keeping him on a short leash kept the collateral damage to a minimum. The Institute took advantage of Kellogg's vicious nature. I will freely admit that. Institute technology prolonged his life, and his usefulness far beyond any normal human lifespan. He never failed the Institute, but his cruelty became more apparent with every completed objective. I won't lie. It's no coincidence your path crossed his. It seemed a fitting way to allow you, us, to have some amount of revenge. What else can I say to ease your mind?
So you're in charge of the Institute?
I am the acting director, yes. I spent decades working to reach this point. It's a responsibility I take very seriously. The Institute. It's important. It really is humanity's best hope for the future, no matter what those above ground might think of us.
They're scared of you, Sean. Scared of the Institute.
People are always frightened by what they don't understand. Ultimately, the Commonwealth has nothing to fear from us. Just give me time. I know there's more for us to discuss. But the Institute is on the verge of some important breakthroughs. Your presence would be appreciated as we approach them. I've been a part of something amazing here. I've helped to build a life for myself and the people of the Institute. And now, after all these years, you have an opportunity to help with that. Doesn't that intrigue you? Isn't that what you want?
You You want me to stay here? In the Institute?
Yes, that is what I propose. Is it so hard to imagine? The Institute can provide a better life than anything above ground. You've been in the Commonwealth. You've seen what it's like. I assure you that you are better off with us.
Things are pretty terrible up there.
I've seen it myself. I know. That is why we are so committed to creating a better life for ourselves here. And it's a life that you can now be part of. I simply ask that you give the Institute, me, a chance. A chance to show you what I've been telling you. We really do have humanity's best interest at heart. Will you take that chance?
All right.
Thank you. The Institute is now your home as much as it is mine. Please take some time, get to know it. Meet the people you'll be working with. You'll want to introduce yourself to the division heads. Dr. Fillmore in Facilities, Dr. Ao in SRB, Dr. Holdren in Bioscience, and finally Dr. Lee in Advanced Systems. They've all been notified of your arrival, of course. Meet them, and then we'll discuss what comes next.
Welcome.
It's an honor to have you here, sir. Almost done.
Any plans for this playthrough tonight? Not sure yet.
Hey, it's me. So you're the one who sent the encrypted message. How did you even do that? I wasn't sure anyone on the surface would have a chance to crack Trinity. You know, the encryption algorithm.
A friend named Tinker Tom cracked your encryption.
He must have had some serious hardware to pull that off. Wow, your message was only one word. Friend. What did you mean by that?
The railroad sent me to look for someone they call Patriot. That's you.
What? The railroad? As in the railroad? And they gave me a code name too? I kept sending synths to the surface hoping someone would help them. I hoped the railroad got to some of them, but I never knew for certain.
You saved a lot of synths.
So much to take in. But wait, with you in the picture, I have this idea. To rescue a lot of synths. At once. But we'll need help. Where's he working now? Right. Let's go to the West Atrium. Probably best to talk about something else right now. You know my father thinks it's a living hell on the surface. But that can't be right. Heck, you look positively normal to me. No offense. I'm not sure if we could ever make the surface actually a decent place to live. But that doesn't mean we shouldn't at least try it out, you know?
Greetings, sir.
C-114, it's me.
Sir, do you require something?
It's okay, Z-1. He's a friend. He's with the railroad.
Meeting here is dangerous. And you bring a stranger. You. How do I know we can trust you?
Because the members of the Railroad have dedicated their lives to fight for your freedom.
I thought only Mr. Benet cared. But your friends actually fight for us?
That's what the Railroad does, C1. He's from the surface.
I've never met another human willing...
It'll take forever. Let's free those 13 all in one go.
I would do anything for my people. But how do we get them to the teleporter? It's no good. The old maintenance tunnels that lead there are always sealed. By the SRB.
If I can find a way to open those doors, could you get your synths to the teleporter room?
Yes. We'll talk later. Someplace more secure.
Just...
Liam.
Just a few high-security doors, right? Controlled by cutting-edge SRB security tech. Yeah. A head-on hack is the sucker play. So we go at them sideways. You're willing to help, right? I can't do this alone.
Of course I'll help you.
Our core security architecture hasn't fundamentally changed from the old CIT days. The original security program was called Code Defender. Revolutionary stuff. We still have terminals running version 1, mothballed in storage. With some persuasion, I can get an old terminal to interface with the new security terminals. Enough to open doors, at least. Problem is, I can't even crack version 1. So I need a good old-fashioned username and a password. And that's nowhere to be found in the Institute. But if you could get me a pre-war admin password from the surface, I could log right in.
I'll find it for you.
That's great. Unfortunately, the obvious place to look won't work. The CIT ruins were picked clean years ago, but some of the admins had to live off campus. Ask your friends in the Railroad. I need those login credentials.
Be right back.
Not yet. I've been reviewing Father's plans to expand our operations at Warwick. He's eager to get that going, so I've had to put everything else to one side.
I wonder how the Warwick family is doing. Young Wally must be close to 10 years old by now. It's remarkable that any child can survive for so long up there, don't you think?
I try not to think too much about it. We have more than enough to occupy ourselves here. And those people are the last remnants of a dying past. It's best not to dwell on the subject.
Doc,
They're still
Welcome.
people.
So
and
good to
they're
have you
suffering.
here. Dr. Clayton Holdren,
admit that,
head of the
isn't it?
Bioscience Division.
After
I
all,
can't wait for you
how
to see
can
the
we
work we're doing.
define
It's
mankind
truly amazing.
and even hold on to our own humanity?
I look forward to learning more about it.
In that case, let me give you a brief overview of what we do here. As the name implies, the Bioscience Division specializes in fields of study such as botany, genetics, and medicine. Our most important directive is to ensure the health and well-being of everyone in the Institute. To that end, we cultivate highly specialized breeds of flora for use in food and medicine. We've even started to explore the idea of synthetic animal life. You probably saw the gorillas. They're really just a pet project at this point, but the potential is exciting nonetheless.
Seems like there's nothing you guys can't do.
With hard work and ingenuity, any challenge can be overcome. I'm sure I've taken up enough of your time as it is. But I have to ask, have you decided whether you'll join us?
I'm not sure how well I'll fit in, but I'd like to give it a try.
Great. I was hoping you'd say that. In any case, I imagine you'll want to continue looking around. Or, if you prefer, I'd be happy to answer any questions you might have.
You mentioned medical care. I might need that from time to time.
In that case, you'll want to introduce yourself to Dr. Dean Volkert. He's our top biologist and also serves as the Institute's resident physician. Dr. Volkert works in the infirmary. Just pay him a visit whenever you need to. You won't find better medical care anywhere else in the Commonwealth. I'll promise you that.
Dr. Holdren,
Something I can do for you?
tell me more about those synth gorillas.
On the whole, I'd say they were a success. Their behavior does generally match what our historical data says it should be. Unfortunately, we had a few early setbacks. The creatures can become suddenly aggressive, and they're quite strong. They destroyed 2 of their synth handlers. So now we keep them in an isolated habitat where they can be safely observed.
Most men lack the patience.
Some of these NPCs talk too much, lol. I know,
I'm not
right?
scared of the
Laughing.
surface.
The Institute's a big place. It might take a while to learn where everything is.
Scanning unknown
Hey, Doc.
identity.
They weren't kidding.
Clearance
You really
confirmed.
are here. Well, all right. I'm Allie Fillmore. You can think of me as the Institute's chief engineer. When Father told us about you, I could hardly believe it. You've been through so much, I think most people would have just given up. If you don't mind my asking, what was it that kept you going all that time?
I guess I just wasn't ready to die yet.
Oh, that's understandable. The will to survive is the most basic human instinct. Now, I'll give you a quick rundown of the facilities division, and then I'll answer any questions you might have afterward. As you might guess, we keep the Institute's mechanical and electrical systems running smoothly. We maintain and upgrade all of the systems that make it possible to live and work in a place like this. There's a lot of machinery behind these walls that recycles the air and water and provides power to the laboratories and quarters. The work we do might not be as exciting as some of the other departments, but it's at least as important. So, now that you're here and you've spoken to Father, does that mean you're on board?
Absolutely.
Oh, good to hear. It'll be a load off Sean's mind. Take your time.
Get yourself acquainted. There's a lot to take in. Plenty of things you won't find topside. If there's anything else you'd like to know about the Facilities Division, I'm happy to discuss it.
I'd like to know about the people in your division.
Of course. Dr. Lawrence Higgs is our mechanical engineer. He oversees the major life support and security systems. Power distribution is Dr. Evan Watson's area of expertise, and Dr. Newton Oberly is in charge of food and housing. He coordinates with bioscience to ensure that our meals are balanced for optimal nutrition. We also make use of a number of synth units for low-priority maintenance and labor.
Welcome to the Institute, sir. Physical reaction to the kit. You know the protocol, sir. Authorized personnel only.
So Dr. Ayo thinks he can hide in his office, does he? Well, you can tell him that I intend to speak to Father about these unannounced security sweeps of yours.
Scanning.
Ransacking my...
I'm seriously thinking of heading over to robotics to knock some heads together.
What now?
Be careful wearing that.
On the targeting package upgrade I asked. Maybe I should take some courses with me.
Excuse me, Doctor.
Please
So,
don't. There's enough
here
friction
you are.
as it is between
Justin Ayo,
us and pretty
Acting
much
Director
all
of the Synth
departments.
Retention Bureau. I'll be upfront with you. We're going to be keeping a close eye on you for the near future. Despite your relation to Father, you're a bit of an unknown quantity.
I'm sure you understand. There won't be any issues, will there?
Why? Don't you trust me?
I'll be honest. You're an outsider.
The first outsider to be allowed access to the Institute in quite a long time, in fact. There's little precedent for this situation, so it's only natural to take extra precautions, It's nothing personal, I assure you.
Now, Father has asked that I provide you with a brief overview of the Synth Retention Bureau. Our primary responsibility is the recovery of escaped synths that are
Right. So basically, you're the secret police.
Secret police? If that's a pre-war reference, then I'm afraid it's lost on me. Our main instrument is the Courser, a third-generation synth assigned to operate on the surface. Coursers hunt down and reclaim synths that have escaped the Institute. They are highly self-sufficient, trained in combat, infiltration, and tracking. In a word, our Coursers are relentless. Well, I gather you know all this, since you've encountered one already. In fact, I'd very much like to know how you defeated it.
I'm no stranger to combat.
Even so, a Courser should be more than a match for any single combatant. I suppose I'll have to ask robotics to perform detailed diagnostics on the entire production run. As if we don't have enough problems. Now, unless you need something else, I'll get back to work.
You mentioned that coursers undergo special training. Tell me more about it.
The SRB constantly monitors our Gen 3 synth population, looking for specific traits. Those who show tenacity, fearlessness, and independence undergo a rigorous training regimen. We teach them armed and unarmed combat, investigative techniques, psychology, and mechanical skills. Those who pass a final evaluation become coursers. The rest have their memories wiped and return to their former duties.
Reporting status. All functions normal.
You can return to your duties, and remember to record every symptom you experience.
She's been at it for over 2 hours. What is she even testing?
Nothing. At this point, she's just doing it for fun.
This is day 8 of Trial 6. The last week has been very productive, but exhausting. I think we'll need a break after this. Benet has done some really marvelous work with the personality mesh. It's almost too good. The responses map almost identically to expectations, some of the most lifelike I've seen. Of course, it's not really Sean. None of his memories are in there. that, even now, would be a step too far. It's starting to have an effect on the team, I think. I know I've been caught up in the moment once or twice. Just a second or two, forgetting that he's not a real boy. Still, I think we'll need to consider restricting him to the lab only for the moment. I'm well aware that others are put off by his presence.
Excuse me, Doctor.
If I were slightly more
it's
arrogant,
you.
I might consider that a sign
You're
of
here, then.
success.
Yes, I know who you are. We all do. While I'm sure Father is very happy that you're here, I do hope it doesn't interrupt our work.
Don't worry. I promise I won't get in your way.
Thank you, I do appreciate that. Oh, before I forget, let me see that Pip-Boy of yours. I've been told to install a Courser chip in it for you. Father's orders. You're to be given full access, with the ability to relay in and out of the Institute at will.
Thank you. I'm sure that'll come in handy.
Given that the relay is the only way to access the Institute, handy is something of an understatement. In case the significance is lost on you, you'll be the only one here with that kind of access. If nothing else, it should demonstrate the amount of trust Father has placed in you. Now, unless there's something else, I really do need to get back to work. Other projects, like the child synth, to focus on Phase 3. I'm hoping that the above-ground efforts are successful. I understand those depend heavily on you.
Hey, it's Bullseye. Bullseye's back.
Hey.
Pam wants to talk with you. She's in back.
I hope you take that
Desdemona.
Oh, thank God.
Woo! See, Des, I told you the molecular stabilization matrix held.
Funny, you didn't sound certain yesterday. It is really, really good to see you. Did it work? Did you make it inside the Institute?
I got there, and the Institute is paradise. Healthy people, clean, plenty to eat.
A paradise built on the backs of slavery is no paradise at all. In Tom's holotape, did you make contact with Patriot?
I met Patriot. His name is Liam Benet.
I knew you'd get the job done. We need every scrap of intel you picked up in there. Write up a full report on Pam's terminal. After you're done, we'll analyze it and figure out the next step. Get to it.
Everyone's all, you've been hitting the chems way too hard. But I got my eyes open. I see.
Establishing Mercer Safe House is a sign we're on the road to recovery. Thank you.
Confirming presence of rogue variable. Dispensing data. There are analysis completed based on target's activity pattern, location, and suspected trajectory. Conclusion. The Institute is actively looking for railroad assets. Stopgap solution. Terminate Courser threats whenever possible.
Seems logical to me.
This unit's logic circuits are fully functional. Target designated Courser Alpha is in a defended location with lower generation synth targets. Eliminate Courser variable, leaving no survivors. End of discussion.
Pam.
Preliminary analysis complete.
Anything we need to move on?
Affirmative. Codename Patriot requires admin credentials for Code Defender security software. Cross-indexing CIT security administrators with 2077 Commonwealth Census records. Filtering by surviving structures. One match found. Bergman, Wilfred. Bergman, Wilfred, registered as co-owner of Cambridge Polymer Labs. Estimated 81% chance of login credentials being located at this facility.
Thanks, Pam.
Complement detected. Analysis irrelevant.
After you get the password report back here. With any luck, we'll have a game plan by then.
Vault 88 emergency classification. Unspecified integrity breach warning. Any available Vault-Tec personnel are required to respond under Emergency Protocol VT-76. This signal will repeat. This is an emergency broadcast signal from Vault 88. Authentication code word Impish.
I wouldn't go into any labs, something will probably try and eat me lol.
Vault 88 emergency classification. Unspecified integrity breach
Can we
warning.
stay here?
Any available Vault-Tec personnel are required to respond under Emergency Protocol VT-76.
May I be of assistance?
This
For
signal
you,
will
I have
repeat.
time.
Your thoughts?
This gift of life you've given me, I'm so thankful. I feel thanks. A mix of obligation and appreciation.
I wanted to make sure things were okay between you and me.
My feelings towards you are one of the few things I can process. We are, as you say, good.
That's why I'm not doing it yet, as I have done that lab before.
Unspecified integrity breach warning. Any available Vault-Tec personnel are required to respond under Emergency Protocol VT-76. This signal will repeat. Authentication code word, Impish. Vault 88 emergency classification. Unspecified integrity breach warning. Any available Vault-Tec personnel are required to respond under Emergency Protocol VT-76. This signal will repeat. Vault 88. Authentication code word, Impish. Vault 88 emergency classification. Unspecified integrity breach warning. Any available Vault-Tec personnel are required to respond under Emergency Protocol VT-76. This signal will repeat. Vault 88. Authentication code word, Impish. Vault 88 emergency classification. Unspecified integrity breach warning. Any available Vault-Tec personnel are required to respond under Emergency Protocol VT-76. This signal will repeat. Vault 88. Authentication code word, Impish. Vault 88 emergency classification. Unspecified integrity breach warning. Any available Vault-Tec personnel are required to respond under Emergency Protocol VT-76. This signal will repeat. Emergency broadcast signal from Vault 88. Authentication code word, Impish. Vault 88 emergency classification. Unspecified integrity breach warning. Any available Vault-Tec personnel are required to respond under Emergency Protocol VT-76.
Is it bad?
This signal will repeat.
something nearby. Entity unknown.
Yup.
Vault 88. Authentication code word, impish. Vault 88. Classification. Unspecified integrity breach warning. Any available Vault-Tec personnel are required to respond under Emergency Protocol VT-76.
Combat is quite vigorous exercise.
This signal will repeat. Broadcasting from Vault 88. Authentication code. Let's do this. Vault 88 emergency classification. Unspecified integrity. Any available Vault-Tec personnel are required to respond under Emergency Protocol VT-76. This signal will repeat.
Make sure you filmed at one end, emoji cold sweat.
Emergency broadcasting from Vault 88. Authentication Vault 88 emergency classification. Unspecified integrity breach warning. Any available Vault-Tec personnel are required to respond under Emergency Protocol VT-76. This signal will repeat. Broadcast signal from Vault 88. Authentication code word, impish. Vault 88 emergency classification. Unspecified integrity breach warning. Any available Vault-Tec personnel are required to respond under Emergency Protocol VT-76. This signal will repeat. Authentication code word, impish. Vault 88 emergency classification. Unspecified integrity breach warning. Any available Vault-Tec personnel are required to respond under Emergency Protocol VT-76. This signal will repeat.
I will do.
Cease at once! The vault doors were meant to withstand a direct nuclear strike. Your attempts to breach this facility are laughable. Leave at once, or there will be consequences. When will you tire of this futility?
Vehicular injuries were supposed to be the greatest backup here.
What? You have a pit boy? Wait. Are you Vault-Tec? Have you finally come to save me? Please. I'm trapped behind a mountain of rubble. The key to freeing me is getting the workshop operational. First, lift the security lockdown and get to the reactor room. It's been hard to maintain the faith. So many years stranded here. But you can assure Dr. Braun that I have used the time productively. The great work is ready to begin.
Starting recording.
Good. Very good. Vault-Tec workshops require their control board to function. During emergencies, the procedure is to store it in the reactor room. Look in there and you should find it.
You aren't what I was expecting. You do have a Pip-Boy. You're from a vault. But you're clearly not with Vault-Tec. What are you doing here? Why did you help me?
It was the neighborly thing to do.
Such a fine sense of civic duty. Very laudable. My name is Valerie Barstow, and I was to be the overseer of this vault. But please, follow me. I have a proposal for you. It's been a hard 200 years. I was giving a tour of what was to be my pride and joy. My vault. Then the earthquakes. Sirens. Many died. Perhaps they were lucky. The radiation. Somehow. Stop, Jude. What are you doing?
I have survived the hostility.
The construction crews won't fare as well as me. They've never done anything hostile towards me, though.
It's probably best if put them out.
Yahoo? Are still within acceptable parameters.
I tried digging my way to the entrance. With that control board, I could have changed everything. But there was simply too much rubble for the equipment to handle. But my work kept me going. Here, among these papers, is my life's work. Dr. Braun tasked me with... But, as you can see, things did not go...
Sounds like you've had a pretty tough time.
I've had many dark days down here. Even despair. But the work, always the work, sustained me. This vault was meant to be spacious, full of trained staff, trusted subordinates and scientists. Despite how things have played out, I see opportunity. Let us work together, as partners.
Let's do this, then.
Good. Excellent. We cannot begin until I have my overseer's desk. To run the experiments, I entrust you with the future of our vault. Vault 88. The overseer's desk will give me everything I need to proceed with.
Overseer's desk. And the proper Volt Tech terminal. This. Please, I beg your indulgence. I've waited so long. But we must not dally. The work compels us. The vault was supposed to have a very specific set of residents. After all, to conduct human trials, you need the perfect test subjects.
I'm not gonna toy with people's lives.
Think of the greater good here. But fine. You're running the experiments. If you choose a risk-free path, it will compromise the value of the research. But that's on your head. Choose wisely. Now,
You
turn
seem
on the
tired.
Vault's radio beacon. Certainly people above ground would give anything to live in our vault. While we wait for word to spread, perhaps you might use this time to explore Vault 88. If you can clear some of the rubble, you may be able to access some of the other building sectors. Any materials or equipment that survived may prove useful in our experiments.
I'm very tired, emoji crying loudly. Get some rest. Soon I will do.
Can, yes? We must talk. You are so very, very distracting. You know this, yes?
You're pretty distracting yourself.
I had a point, a reason. Oh, yes. My control of feelings is worse than before. And you are no help. With your teasing of poor little Curie. But it is not just you. Sometimes a simple compliment, nice hair, and I am flustered, confused. Other times, people suggest the strangest and most lurid things, and I am even more confused. Why do people do this?
Because you're so cute when you're confused.
You are not making any of this easier, you. Oh, I must get a handle on this if I am ever to advance my experiments.
Attention, people of the Commonwealth. Vault 88 is now accepting applications for the first time in 200 years. Vault Tech's motto has never been more apropos. Better living underground. Vault 88 is conveniently located near downtown Quincy. Apply in person to Overseer Barstow. Attention, people of the Commonwealth. Vault 88 is now accepting applications for the first time in 200 years. Vault Tech's motto has never been more apropos. Better living underground. Vault 88 is conveniently located near downtown Quincy. Apply in person to Overseer Barstow.
Hey.
What do you...
Attention, people of the Commonwealth. Vault 88
88 is now accepting applications for the first time in 200 years. Vault-Tech's motto has never been more apropos. Better living underground. Vault 88 is conveniently located near downtown Quincy. Apply in person to Overseer Barstow.
You want?
Attention, people of the Commonwealth. Vault 88 is now accepting applications for the first time in 200 years. Vault-Tech's motto has never been more apropos. Better living underground. Vault 88 is conveniently located near downtown Quincy. Apply in person to Overseer Barstow. Attention, people of the Commonwealth. Vault 88 is now accepting applications for the first time in 200 years. Vault-Tech's motto has never been more apropos. Better living underground. Vault 88 is conveniently located near downtown Quincy. Apply in person to Overseer Barstow. Attention, people of the Commonwealth. Vault 88 is now accepting applications for the first time in 200 years. Vault-Tech's motto has never been more apropos. Better living underground. Vault 88 is conveniently located near downtown Quincy. Apply in person to Overseer Barstow. Attention, people of the Commonwealth. Vault 88 is now accepting applications for the first time in 200 years. Vault-Tech's motto has never been more apropos. Better living underground. Vault 88 is conveniently located near downtown Quincy. Apply in person to Overseer Barstow. Attention, people of the Commonwealth. Vault 88 is now accepting applications for the first time in 200 years. Vault-Tech's motto has never been more apropos. Better living underground. Vault 88 is conveniently located near downtown Quincy. Apply in person to Overseer Barstow. Attention, people of the Commonwealth. Vault 88 is now accepting applications for the first time 88 is conveniently located near downtown Quincy. Apply in person to Overseer Barstow. Attention, people of the Commonwealth. Vault 88 is now accepting applications for the first time in 200 years. Vault-Tech's motto has never been more apropos. Better living underground. Vault 88 is conveniently located near downtown Quincy. Apply in person to Overseer Barstow. Attention, people of the Commonwealth. Vault 88 is now accepting applications for the first time in 200 years. Vault-Tech's motto has never been more apropos. Better living underground. Vault 88 is conveniently located near downtown Quincy.
If you could all
apply in person to Overseer Barstow.
I don't know.
I'll wait as long as I have to, ma'am.
Attention, people of the Commonwealth. Vault 88 is now accepting applications for the
Look
first
at all
time
this.
in 200 years. Vault-Tech's motto has never been more apropos. Better living underground. Vault 88 is conveniently located near downtown Quincy. Apply in person to Overseer Barstow.
Excuse me.
Just a moment and we can begin. Please, step forward. Yes. Welcome.
So, this here's a vault, right?
Quite correct. And you could be one of our lucky new residents.
You do got food in this vault, right?
Of course. And a chance at a new life. A question or two first, however. What do you think is the role of a good government?
Government? What the hell are you talking about?
It's all right. We're the good guys. Just answer the questions.
You seem... All right. Okay. From what I heard, them governments are why everything's radioactive.
You won't do for our special assignment. But welcome to our vault. Your new home. If she is representative of what's left above, the outside world must be rougher than I imagined. Are you ready for the next interview?
Let's continue.
All right. Hello. Welcome to Vault 88.
This is a real nice place you have here. Real nice. And I can go wherever I like, right?
Within reason, yes. But I have a question for you.
Sure. What do you want to know?
A hypothetical. Let's say the reactor core is melting down, and you're the only one who could stop it.
Is there something wrong with your reactor?
No, it's fine. Just pretend. So you can stop the meltdown. But you'd suffer from extreme radiation exposure. What would you do?
Well, whatever you'd like. If you don't mind, I'm anxious to look around.
If you're thinking about ripping us off, don't.
Listen, it's hell up there. If you really give me food and a place to stay, I'll be good. Just don't go expecting me to jump in a reactor for you.
I think we could use him in our vault.
As long as you guys are on the level, I'll give this thing a try. Honest.
I appreciate your candor. You can stay, but you're not what we're looking for. Go ahead and get acquainted. What a colorful Here's hoping third time's a charm.
Sure. Let's do the next interview then.
As you say. Hello. Welcome to your new home.
Wow. A real overseer. I am so happy to be here. Hi. My name is Clem.
Yes. Clem, is it? Before you settle in, I have some questions.
Oh, okay. Sure. I'll answer anything you like.
Well, that's good. Here's a scenario. You've been assigned guard duty. You know, stand watch and make sure outsiders don't breach the perimeter. But from inside the vault, you hear a woman screaming. What would you do?
You want me to guard something? Sure. I can do that. I can do that right now, if you want. But I don't hear any screaming, Lady Overseer.
Nothing to be nervous about. Think about it and answer.
Yeah, sorry. Well, if you tell me to guard, I guard. And I won't leave my post unless you tell me to. Is that okay?
Another question for you. What can you tell me about your mother?
Ah, she passed. But she was nice. You would have liked her. She killed a mole rat once.
Really? That's remarkable. Describe the traits you most admire about her.
Well, she was strong because of the mole rat, and she fed me. God, I'm sorry. This... Gee, thanks. Found what exactly?
We're looking for a volunteer, Clem. Someone to test some new devices that will help everyone. Are you interested?
You mean I can stay? I mean, yes. I'll help out. I like helping. That's me, Clem. Always willing to help out.
Yes. I think you'll do nicely. And no time like the present to commence. Now that we have, Clem, we are ready to begin. The first step is to get him properly equipped and dressed. There should be supplies in the welcome area near the entrance.
Clem, let's get you outfitted like a real vault dweller.
Some people complain, but not me. Just happy to be here.
Just looking to trade a little, of course.
Let's trade some things.
Okay.
Valerie.
Our first vault residence. What a moment. But, on to business. Exercise is an inherently selfish activity. Instead of using every hour, every minute, to further the goals of the community, a resident instead improves. Vault-Tech has, while you pedal, a perfect...
Your argument is wrong on so many levels.
If you are so convinced exercise is good, then refine the power cycle to make it better. Moving on. The prototype is far from perfect. There were incidences during its R&D. Maybe even the stray cerebral hemorrhage.
What? Overseer?
Oh, Clem. Don't worry yourself. This model...
Oh, good.
Well... Let me work, Clem.
I'd take care of the body myself.
Smells like something died in here.
Smell, like a bit much. This is all there is to it? So what is this? Kind of of fun. Oh, man. I'm sorry. I broke your vault. I just got so excited and I wanted to do a good job and I kept pedaling faster and faster. And then the whole vault went kablooey. Please don't kick me out.
I'd like to trade some items.
I'm just so excited to be here.
Hey.
The power cycle appears to have generated an EMP. Fascinating. The power cycle appears to have generated an EMP. Fascinating.
Overseer.
I was looking at the data for the power cycle. If I am reading the report correctly, you chose a lavender and vanilla aroma dispenser. Ugh. We're engineering a new society, you know. Not some sort of day spa. For the next experiment, we'll need something from outside. Vault-Tec subcontracted out chemical research to Hallucigen Incorporated. But with the mails...
I'll be back before you know it.
Excellent. Just grab a pack. Once we have that, we...
If you carry too much, you may get a burnout.
I knew what the Institute really wanted us doing.
Pictures of that.
Or, no, you need anything proofread.
Hey.
Do you... Need something from me? I will attend to this.
Heads up.
A marvelous invention, don't you think?
Grab anything useful.
Yes.
Heads up.
You need... need something, yes?